you're bleeding. Throw a monkey wrench in your program.
Hey everybody, it is me, Demetrius K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan Joe Watts and Hyde and Hair Sadiq. This is the second edition of Don't Believe the Hype, where we ask you to go beneath the surface and find out the truth for yourself, opposed to what they, in quotations, have been telling you. Get some knowledge for yourself so that way you can see things the way they really are. And so today we have two topics, so we're going to try to cover them both amply. Well, maybe one more than the other, because the other one's kind of But the first one I want to talk about is that of Jasmine Headley. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know her by name, but you've probably have been seeing her story trend over the last couple of days. Well, Jasmine is a 23-year-old mother who was at a social services office or something like that, trying to figure out why her child's daycare voucher was no longer valid. And so as she's there waiting for about 4 hours, she had to sit on the floor because it was crowded. There were no seats. So she's sitting on the floor with her son, and the security guards or officers, whoever there, comes to her and asks her to move because they said she was blocking the hallway or whatever. So then I guess maybe she refused to move, said there's nowhere else to sit. Mm-hmm. And they finally asked her to leave, and she says, I'm not leaving, because she had actually taken a day off from work to be there. Take a day off from work to try to figure out why her child care was no longer active. So she's like, I'm not leaving. I've been here for 4 hours, which, I mean, who would?
Exactly.
Who would just say, okay, I'm giving you guys 4 hours. Plus, I'm missing a day of work. I need some results here. And so that didn't go over well. They being the security officers, called the NYPD. And then we'll put the video up too. So called the NYPD, and the NYPD ends up snatching. Now, not just gently trying to get the baby from her. I mean, this dude is yanking. He's yanking and yanking this 1-year-old baby. The mother's not trying to let him go because she's like, wait a second, How did we get here? Mm-hmm. Needless to say, they end up snatching the baby from her arms. They take her to Rikers Island, and she's with no bail. They gave her 4 charges. One was obstructing
and assaulting a police officer, of course.
Of course.
They always throw that one in there.
Resisting arrest, blocking a public
sidewalk
doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Just some
dumb
nonsense.
Yeah, just stuff.
So also, the judge has issued, I guess, what do you call a protection order, or what do you call it? When you have to stay away from somebody.
Yeah, just a protection order.
Yeah, I can't think of the formal name, but wait, so she can't be around her son. Mm-hmm. I think they gave the son to a relative, but she has to stay away from her son. So how do you go from going to get childcare for your son to now you can't be around your son? Why? What did she do to the son? She was holding on. I mean, and then I saw a lot of people in the comment sections of different areas where the story was posted saying, well, she should have just let the child go. And I said to one guy, it was a black man who said that she should have just let her son go. I said, either you're not a parent or you're a piss poor parent. Because I can't think of too many people who would have agreed with you. Or would just let them have your son. Listen, all the stuff we see and hear about the police, I'm going to just let you take my son.
And put him in a cage?
Yeah. And I said, the last thing my child would have heard about me in the long run is my mama didn't fight for me. Mm-hmm. The story that my child was going to be hearing is my mama put up a hell of a fight. Right. They snatched every joint out of her damn body before they took my child.
We gonna miss you.
I'm just saying, but
my
child wouldn't have been hearing the other side of the story. Well, mama just handed me to him.
Exactly.
She just let him have me. No, mama had to go get all her joints put back together because they snatched them out too. You know, and so I just thought. Now, of course, we see this stuff all the time, but there's just so much more to this. Here is this young woman, 23. Now, of course, they also said that they arrested her because she had an outstanding warrant for some credit card fraud. They're gonna throw some but y'all didn't know that. Let's say it's true. Y'all didn't know that before y'all decided to mess with this woman. Like, who wants to sit on the floor? Obviously, there's no seats.
Right, and she did that.
And she's got a 1-year-old. And my other thing that when I was hearing this, I'm like, well, I wonder how many of these raggedy ass dudes, not saying all dudes, but was sitting in one of those chairs.
And didn't want to get up.
And didn't get up and give that girl the seat.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You know what I mean? I'm quite sure there was somebody who could have let that woman and her child sit there, but whatever. We're not even going to bring him to it, but that's just kind of what I thought about it. But then it's like, here you have these police officers, and wait.
There's more?
There's more.
Okay.
The cold, ice cold, white people ice cold part.
Because their ice is super cold.
Yes. Is that it was some sisters in uniform helping snatch this child away from its mother. Some black women.
Of course. What, are you surprised?
I continue to be surprised by that.
I've been screaming the alarm, the BT-1000.
No, but it's like, come on, sister. At some point in time, you got to step from away from the shield and say, okay, wait. We can't just be snatching this child from this mama. Let's try to do this a different way. Y'all didn't, like a lot of people said too in the comment section, y'all didn't think to go talk to this woman. Hey, okay, what's going on? You know what is it? Could you move? I know you've been here a long time. It's probably a frustrating thing to go through.
Wait. Give a black person respect as a human being.
I'm just saying,
Are you serious?
But to snatch her up and to take her to jail because she's trying to go, obviously, she's already not in the best of situations financially because most people who go to the Department of Social Services are in need. So obviously, she needed this child care. But yeah, now you're going to make it worse because now she's at Rikers Island, which is probably one of the worst places to be for anybody. Not knowing what's going to happen to her child, what's going to happen to her. Even if they did give her bail, she probably can't afford to get out. Now she's probably lost her job. Or hopefully her job has seen the video and said, because I guess the manager of the building, this Department of Social Services, was like, wait a second. That's not what we do here.
Right.
How did it get to this point? There's so many other things they should have did before they called the police. And she was defending her saying, well, she's here trying to do better, trying to help herself. And this is what we do to people?
Black people, yes. Have you heard of the Dred Scott decision?
I mean, there's people screaming and hollering. What are you doing to her?
Hey, you're in America. Come get all of this stuff.
But I thought, too,
there is no right that a white person or the system has to respect when it comes to black people.
But golly, so as I saw that video and I saw the people screaming and yelling, I thought about France.
Yeah.
And whereas in Paris,
France be cutting off heads.
Well, they turned up on the government,
and now they cut off heads.
But the government rolled and said, "Okay, now we're giving y'all higher minimum wage. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're not going to impose any taxes on the." I mean, so the rioting and the uprising works.
And here's the funny thing: the people that were rioting, they all put on those vests you can buy at the store, so that they can be identified. No doubt that they're the protesters.
Right. We ain't putting up with this shit no more. And so I thought about that. But the other thing, too, is like, there's no way they saw this woman and this child as a human. And we know that that's the kind of stuff they did in slavery and Jim Crow, just snatching up people's kids. And, you're not going to miss them. I mean, you should see, I don't know if you saw the way they were yanking this baby. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't hurt this child. I mean, this grown-ass man is... Because, as a mom, you got that killer hug. I'm not letting my child go.
But the thing is, they start doing that when you don't ascend to their authority.
And that's
the authority that they think they have.
And that's what somebody else said, too, because she didn't bow down and just say, okay, yes, okay. Because, of course, you had assholes, too, to say, well, she should have just complied. Let me tell you something. No. Unless you are a parent, and, I'm not belittling that of a father, because fathers are not as, you guys aren't naturally the nurturers.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And you guys don't really deal in emotion like women. I mean, but we have seen women flip over cars to save their children. And so to say that, see, that's that slave mentality too, or that slave master's mentality. Oh, well, she should have just gave it up. See, even back in slavery, there was women who you had to cut some shit off before they let their child go.
Well, let me say this as a black man. I will never, ever tell a black woman not to fight for her children. Have you seen Beloved?
Yes, it was a terrible movie too.
But its premise,
right?
I mean, for a woman to say, "I'd rather kill my children than have them go into slavery," that is the love of a mother.
Yeah, and that's what happened with with slavery. It's like I didn't. This is not what I signed up for. Right. So we all checking up out of here. But to say that she should have just she shouldn't have resisted. First of all, why do you have your hands on me? And you see me with my child. I've done nothing wrong.
Well, what kind of monster are these people that see a mother with her child and you're even going to attempt to snatch it. Where is your humanity?
Devils.
Right. Where is your humanity?
Those are devils.
If that was your mother, would you want somebody yanking on your brother or your sister or somebody? You know what I mean?
Well, again, they don't see black people as human.
No. You know what I think it is?
What?
She was armed with a black baby, which is a very dangerous weapon. Deadly weapon.
Especially if you raise that baby up with some knowledge of self.
Right. See, and they wanted, they didn't want to bring the baby up and go like this and spray the whole.
What you will see when you see the video, and for those of you guys who haven't seen the video, what you will see is a group of devils and mammies. I can't remember as a black man there. If it was, he a buck or not a buck. I ain't gonna say that word. But
I don't want to cut you off. But there's, again, and you say this all the time on your show, there's always going to be a group of us. Some of us that are going to, they're going to buy into this now. Yes, I'm a military man, but I'm a black man first. Period. Because I know who I am. And when I was in the military, I knew what the score was. I was in the military to use the system to my benefit, which I did. But I wasn't dumb enough to say, oh, yeah, you guys accept me and this and that. My mom said, no, they will never accept you.
Never, ever. And so, you have these group of peace, quote unquote, officers.
I call them unpeaceful officers.
Who are brutalizing this woman and her baby.
Yeah.
And these black ass women are helping them do that. Not one of them said,
motherly instincts.
Wait a minute. I think we need to go about this just a little bit differently.
Why couldn't they talk to her and de-escalate? Why is it that
because black people have no value, like you say. You have no value, you have no say. So what you have to say is not important. You're not human. We don't even listen. We're not even going to listen to you. Just do what I say. Otherwise, we're going to get the yanking and snatching. I mean, how many times we've seen videos of black people not even being read their rights or being told why they've been arrested. People just grabbing them and, putting you, what am I under arrest for? You're resisting arrest.
Yeah, I saw a video where the guy didn't do anything and they charged, Malcolm X said this years ago, they're charging the victim is the criminal and the criminal is the victim.
Right. That's a old playbook. It comes out of the playbook. And so, and then the other part, because I posted it on my page, the other part that I thought was just so telling, because actually the article, I can't remember who it was, one of the advocates, she pointed it out. And that, this is the equivalent of the kids that are kept in cages or being snatched away from their parents. Sure. So where's the outrage?
No, when it comes to black people?
I'm just saying, where's the outrage? This is the same thing, but we're here in America. This is being done to an American citizen and her baby.
Yes.
The child is literally being snatched away from her. This lady ain't doing nothing.
But trying to get help to get her.
So, and not to belittle the struggle of immigrants, but she's not coming over here illegally. She's not doing anything wrong. She's already here and they are snatching her baby. So where are all these immigrants who want, everybody else to sympathize with them?
Where's Aunt Maxine?
Where's Aunt Maxine? Where's all these other people, including a lot of Negroes who run around saying, oh, it's not fair. They got all these kids in cages and we need to do something. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? Wait. I ain't done. There's more. Where is the women's movement? Alyssa Milano, you there?
She's Italian American, so
no. But I'm saying because she always turning up on.
No, exactly.
Black men and black. You doing all this turning up, and wait. There's more.
There's more.
LGBTQIA,
MNOP,
all that. Where y'all at? Since y'all want to try to tie your struggles to black people and saying, oh, you guys should understand, this is like the civil rights movement. Where y'all
hell, they ain't not. But go ahead.
Where are y'all at? Where? Well,
good point.
Are y'all going to show up? Are you guys teaming together? Are you guys trying to strategize and figure out what to do to help this woman who did nothing?
Are you guys giving her legal advice and paying her legal fees?
Right.
Because of the injustice?
Right. Are y'all just worried about Kevin Hart, who made some jokes 10 years ago?
Or the football player.
As a comedian, or the football player. Or, y'all just worried about immigrant children from Mexico who are call it what you want.
They
coming over here illegally for now. Yeah, they're gonna say, well, they're seeking asylum, political
and that's fine.
asylum.
But they are not citizens of the United States,
right? So y'all can call it what you want, but right now it's an illegal thing, whether we want to agree with it or not. Okay, where are you people at?
Exactly. Real quick, because it's kind of on the same thing that you're talking about. Remember the young lady named Cynthia Brown? In Tennessee recently, last couple of weeks, and I don't know how I missed the story, but I just saw, I posted on my page,
that's all right,
just like you, where she was denied by the Supreme Court of Tennessee that she must serve 51 years before she is eligible for parole. And she was sex trafficked at 16 years old, being a minor, but yet you have a billionaire white guy that molests women, and he can just walk.
Again, though, I got the hunch over on this one. We are expecting an unjust system that laws were never designed for black people to be fair to us. That's what we're expecting now, in all fairness, because I've seen a lot of people post the story and they have misquoted and misrepresented what happened. Since you brought her up, Cynthia Brown was a teenage prostitute that she was. She had an older boyfriend named Cutthroat who pimped her out, or whatever the case is. If you see her story, I think it's on YouTube. She was a wayward child, for lack of better words. Mama or her foster mom, whoever she was, couldn't say nothing to her. But her biological mom was doing her thing. So she ends up getting away from Cutthroat, and then she goes and pulls a trick. The John, the guy that she eventually murdered in his sleep, took his wallet and his car and his gun. Right. So that's the facts.
Yeah, and
that's the facts.
Yeah, and I'm not throwing the facts, but all I'm saying is she's a minor.
No, and that's what I was going to go with that. So, but I think she should have been charged as a minor. I think come on, you charge her as an adult. She's a child. Yes, she did some heinous things, but and then the cold part is they have recently changed the laws that say now in that state, minors, when they commit crimes, they have to be tried as a minor, so they wouldn't do it retroactively or any of that kind of stuff. So, but to your other point, we see white boys and men, and constantly older, like full on raping people,
fluency,
doing all kind of stuff, and they get pats on the wrist. And, they're too rich
affluent. They're too
to go to jail. It might harm their lives. But what about the people they murdering and killing and raping and shit?
Right.
What about their lives? And so,
but where's Aunt Maxine on these things? Where's the Black Caucus on these things? Where is Cheryl? What's her name? Barbara Lee, and all these so-called
they
folks?
don't have to do that, because right now a good amount of black people are not awake in that. And I'm not saying woke like the fashionable I'm woke, but I'm saying enough to hold these Negroes accountable. We won't do that, and so we'll keep turning up the ones that do to the polls and giving them our vote, but we never ask them to do anything for us in return. And so that's why Maxine and all these other people, I don't know if they'll mention it, but to me, y'all got the power. Especially if you're a congressperson or whatever in New York or whatever, you have some power, especially the girl who was gaffled up and her baby was snatched from her. It's like, say something. Right. But as long as we keep getting mad about it and posting it and then going away, and another black body swinging.
Again, Maxine was big and bad when they were in the minority. I'm going to impeach him. We're going to impeach him. They get the majority. What I was saying is we need to get the house in order, and if impeachment comes up, we're going to meet with him and like that. So,
but no, these laws were never written for us. And to that other point, now I can speculate as to who was on Cynthia's jury. Yeah, but we talk about that often too. Black people show up to jury duty because I'm quite sure if there were enough black people on that jury, they would have had some sort of sympathy for her and saying, this is one of our black women or girls who are going down for the count. When we know that had this been a little white girl, she would, she's so terrible, the things she's gone through. And she'd be off speaking at college, college classrooms right now.
You got white teachers that are raping these boys. And I don't know why is it that, when it's a boy, it's not a big deal. But if that was a black man, hypothetically, that had a relationship with a student, his black ass would be under the jail.
I don't want to like these little boys is they children. Why do y'all, and you know who I'm talking about, like sleeping with these little black boys? They boys.
I'm just saying.
What's wrong with y'all?
But look at the justice of when a woman does something as heinous as a man, she gets less of a sentence. And if she's white, less of a sentence.
Yeah, I mean, but and also the other part of it is that Cynthia murdered a white man, and they tried to tell the story he was this affluent real estate.
Then why is he picking up hookers?
Well, I'm telling you what they said. Okay, he's this affluent real estate mogul in the neighborhood, and he was so loved. He was such a nice guy. But to your point, F all that. What was he doing picking up a prostitute?
And then if you look at Cynthia Brown, even today, she looks like she's not even 17 years old.
You can tell she was a child. And so this good old white man that y'all talking so highly of, he picking up kids to have sex with them. So how good is this white man?
But is that unusual for affluent white men to have sex with children underage, boys?
And if we want to take it way back, to the plantation,
let's go,
and even Jim Crow, that's what they did. Right. They slept with our little girls
and our little boys,
and that was normal to them. So nothing's changed. It just continued.
I hear you. Let's talk about something that correlates and relates. Now, I've always said, and I know this is your segment, but I just wanted to bring up. I have always said this. Criminals and felons get more pussy.
I'm glad you said it and I didn't.
Than anybody I know, especially in the black community.
I wouldn't venture to say especially in the black community. Because
I can only talk on it because that's what I really worry about. I'm just saying compared to the advocate, like here I am, I'm a veteran, whatever the deal is, and I don't see women breaking down my door to date me, even though I've got benefits and all the other good stuff. But you see a guy that has no future, I just got out on a bid, whatever the deal is. And so you have this big superstar named Nicki Minaj, whose brother just last year got convicted of
for raping his 11-year-old
stepdaughter. And
so now, not that they're related.
It's not a related issue, but
Nicki Minaj. And listen, anytime I bring up something trivial, like, because to me, Nicki is trivial.
Very trivial.
I just want to, just kind of make some points to the story. Nicki Minaj has said herself that, yes, she is dating a registered sex offender. Okay. She just is. She's dating a registered sex offender. Now, what had happened was when this guy was 16, he alleged, I guess he was convicted for it. He tried to rape. So it was an attempted rape is what it was. Another 16-year-old. Now, Nicki is saying that him and the girl were in a relationship, and it sounds like the girl got mad and hollered that he tried to rape her. So he ends up doing, I think it was 4 years. I'm in prison for the attempted rape. Got out and had to register as a sex offender. Not too long after that, he did 7 years more for manslaughter. I don't know what the dynamics of the manslaughter case is, but a lot of people are taking Nicki to task, saying,
"So wait,
really?"
She said, "Really?" She said, "You killed a man for whatever reasons, and you're dating material."
Well, she's basically saying, "You guys don't know him. Like I know him.
I wouldn't want to know him."
And people lied on him about the rape thing. It wasn't what you guys think it is, and this, that, and the other. And so I'm just like, okay, listen. And I also said, because we talk about this a lot too. I'm not saying there's not redemptive value in people who go to jail and serve their time, but I don't know. It's just, and TMZ broke the story. It's not, because I guess she posted a picture on Instagram of her. She's kind of got her leg up on him and they're hugged up. And
where did she find this guy?
They knew each other when they were kids.
Okay, gotcha.
So I guess this is a rekindled relationship or whatever. And so she's
kind of like me and your sister.
Right. Yeah. Except for the rekindling part hasn't happened.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm working on it.
So that's what she's saying. It's not some dude, like you would say, some street urchin she met. She knew him. And so that's her boo thing now. She's basically saying, you guys have a hard time worrying about your relationship. How you gonna worry about mine? So she's.
But okay, here's my question for Nicki. And Nicki, if you're listening, my number is 951 976. Anyway, if you want a good man. But here's my question for Nicki. You obviously we're in a society where these kids look at outside of their home for role models, which I think is ridiculous. But So you got a lot of young girls that look up to you, want to be like you. And if you're making those kind of decisions, you are affecting, if you want to be a role model or not, it doesn't matter. You are. So,
well, then I agree with you on that one. And so I want to go on both sides of the fence with this story.
You always do.
I do. I really want to go on both sides of the fence. So the other side of the fence is the point that you made, in that you are influential. And so I would assume Nicki Minaj has got a lot of money. You could probably have any man you want. You know,
I'm right here in Moreno Valley near March Air Force Base.
Yeah, you know, Donovan. And so you end up with somebody who is going to have people question you. Because I'm not saying the guy's not a good dude. I'm sure he probably is to some degree, but it's like,
are you living off him or is he living off you? But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I mean,
if I was her man, that's what I'd be saying.
You got 2 felonies. It's probably hard to go, you know, do a bang up job out there in corporate America, you know, especially for violent ones. I mean, let's be real. A lot of people ain't going to hire you for some attempted rape and murder or, you know, manslaughter. So it's probably her taking care of him. But,
and, you know, and my thing is real quick, I'm going to cut you off. You went from attempted rape to manslaughter, which somebody got killed. It seems like it's escalating and there's a pattern there, but go ahead.
Well, so then you do have girls who are influential, you know, and not to continue to mirror, what's her name, Cardi B and Nicki together, but, you know, not too long ago, Cardi B was saying the same thing.
Sure was.
You guys, your man cheat on you too. And then now she's divorced or getting a divorce or whatever the case is. And so
y'all won. Go ahead.
I just imagine, right, that's what a man said. But I just imagine all the little girls who look up to the both of them, where they're getting on this pedestal and saying, well, it's okay to just be with any old dude. Just get the low-hanging fruit, not to liking these men, the low-hanging fruit.
Just dusty motherfucker that's living on the street.
Yeah, but don't
open your legs to that.
Don't worry about your self-esteem. Don't worry about your self-worth. Don't worry about getting somebody who you don't have to worry about those things. And this is the thing I want to say, too. Nicki Minaj can screw anybody she wants.
Absolutely.
Because she's got a lot of... Keep waiting, brother. She's got a lot of money. So she don't have the issues that old girl up the way would have, who is working at Walmart or even, let's say, even better job and lives in a regular neighborhood.
Sure. I know where you're going with that.
Right. To where, see, Nicki can bring him home, because I'm sure she don't have neighbors where, you know, they're going to be passing out flyers. Oh my God, there's a rapist in the neighborhood, a sex offender.
Yeah, she has an enclosed.
Right. So to the younger women, and hell, women my age who think, go on, Nicki, go on, you know, and all that other stuff, you ain't going to be able to bring old dude home who's a registered sex offender without your neighbors getting involved. Right. And they ain't going to want him around the kids.
Or if you live by a school or something, you're going to have all that. So you're
Nicki,
zoned.
And this dude going to be in her private truck and limo and jet. And they're going to be, because they can do that. They can escape the regular backlash.
So basically, he's the dick under glass, break in case of emergency or when needed.
I mean, I guess, but
because let's face it. I mean, ain't like you said, it ain't like he's out there doing a 9 to 5 and trying to work. And
I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, it's not my world, but the people just are not lining up to hire people like that. I mean, it's just, we know people. I know people who have, and I'll tell you guys a story. I met a guy. He was 23 years old. It's a couple years back. Homeless black man, 23, was homeless because he decided that he had to urinate, and so he urinated in public, and a white woman and her daughter walked by and called the police, and this to me, I guess he was a boy at the time, goes to prison and has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Absolutely. So he's homeless because he can't work. You know, I'm sure when he went in, he didn't have no experience, probably didn't finish his education if he was going to school. And so at this time, it was the day after Thanksgiving. Now, normally he said he would go to a church to get something to eat because they feed people every day. But because it was the day after Thanksgiving, they were closed. And so we're just talking and stuff. And I'm, doing my thing. So I call my daughter. Actually, I text her as I'm talking to her. I said, stop by McDonald's, buy me a bunch of cheeseburgers and French fries. Bring them to me. And she did, and I gave them to him. I said, you know what? There's nothing I can really do for you. He couldn't go to the shelter. Yeah. Because even in shelter, they won't let sex offenders in. Yeah. The church couldn't bring him in because he was... So he's just out in the street. His grandma wanted him to come to Georgia, but the parole officers...
won't let him go.
So he's just on the street. So the point that I'm making is... if he was with somebody like Nicki, hell, yeah, I'm a sex offender, so what, bitch? My woman got $50, $60, $70 million. $100.
Right, and I'm tapping this right here, so look at me.
But if you old girl, round the way girl, and you trying to bring that dude home, and then plus you got kids, because see, it's women out there, and I hate to say it, but there's women out there who will bring a man like that around her children.
Yes.
Well, even if she's not supposed to, because I love him. You know what I mean? So don't follow Nicki, because Nicki don't have this. Nicki doesn't have your circumstances, and you don't have her money.
Good point. That's a very good point.
So,
very good point.
But the other side of the fence I wanted to venture on is, a dirt rag like TMZ, who are very negative toward black people.
And owned by a Jewish conglomerate situation. So.
Right. Harvey Levin, and from what I understand, my understanding that he's, homosexual as well. Not that that has anything to do with
right, but what we're saying, Hollywood, we're talking
right, the affluent
raggedness.
people in Hollywood, as you said, the Jews and homosexuals. He just happens to be both, from what I understand, allegedly. Okay, now they run up this story on this man, leading off with he's a sex offender, but they don't tell the whole story. And so every time I read the story about this man, it's been very negative, very this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, who are you to decide who this dude is other than what you've read? Do you know what I mean? Because the truth of the matter is, because I wanted to try to get a guy the benefit of the doubt. The truth of the matter is, there's a lot of black people, just people in general, just say men in general, who have been accused of doing something they didn't do.
Right.
I personally know a man who did 11 years for a rape he did not commit. The evidence was so shoddy. It was ridiculous, but they sent him up the river anyway. So we know that's not far-fetched for a little girl to get mad at her little boyfriend and said he raped her. He tried to rape her because she mad. She, so that's, who's to say? Who are we to not to believe that to be true? Because we weren't there.
Right.
But TMZ is going off of, he's, a charge
public record, right.
Yeah, so, but you don't know the story. And so that's the other side of the fence I want to go on. And that, again, that's the white media. And we all know that TMZ is very negative toward black people, especially black men. White media writing the narrative and framing this man as this, I guess, fairly, because it says, legally this is who he is. But you don't know the whole story.
That's true.
This is just something for you to sell more or get more likes and clicks and all that to continue demonizing black men. And so...
Right. I mean, how many of us are in jail over some bogus bullshit? A lot of us. So.
I mean, we can always go back to the example of Emmett Till, who lost his life due to a white woman saying he simply whistled at her.
It's Sandra Bland. We can go back to her story. How did a traffic ticket escalate in her being
right? And
killed?
then they tried to lie and say she was unruly and she was
and
this
the video
and she
didn't
was that.
show any of that.
So yeah, so I don't like TMZ at all. I don't like them. And then also with someone like TMZ, they always get their black pundit. The dog black people.
Yeah,
even when they wrote the story about Kareem Hunt, they had the two black dudes, the one that went off on Kanye and the dude with the dreadlocks, covering the story. And it's like, well, y'all two black dudes, why don't y'all sit up there and ask the other questions that Harvey Levin ain't gonna let you ask? And well, did this white girl say something crazy to him? Which it came out that it was confirmed that the white girl who Kareem kicked and assaulted,
defending himself,
did put her hands on people in the room and called them niggers.
Right.
But so here you got these black men who work for Harvey Levin at TMZ. They're not asking those questions. They're just going along with, you shouldn't have put his hands on her, which I'm not saying he should have. But there's that other side of the story.
Well, you also got to remember those people aren't journalists either, so they don't know when to ask the question.
Well, that's yellow journalism is what it is. We just lie and go with these,
gossip. It's just gossip.
The gossip stories.
Because a lot of people on TV are not journalists. They're not news people. They didn't take any journalism classes. They're there because they look good or they sound good.
And they know how to harass people and get the story and all of that. And it's funny, too, because Kanye, a while back, made a comment saying that TMZ demonizes black men, but it's like then you go on there to say stupid stuff about slavery and, all kind of crazy stuff. And so to me, that's the other side of the story.
Gotcha,
the other side of, Nicki Minaj, maybe you probably could make better decisions than men. I don't know. Maybe he is a
like
good
I said,
dude.
I'm in Moreno Valley near March Air Force Base. Just give me a call. Email dxfiles@gmail.com. I will be there, and I will love you forever and ever and ever.
Right. And then there's the other side, and maybe, just maybe, he's telling the truth, and that the girl, as some people say, screamed on him and said that he did something to her he didn't really do.
Was this a black girl?
I don't know. So, you know what? I did read, or I heard, maybe I didn't read that it was in fact one, but somebody says they thought it was a white girl.
Okay.
So I don't know for sure.
We'll do our homework because, again...
I don't know who for sure.
We do have, in our community, we do have black women and men that make false accusations, just like that one guy that was the NFL guy here in L.A.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl got a settlement from the school and everything.
He was sentenced to 10 years.
10 years, and he lost his life, basically.
Didn't he end up getting picked up now?
Well, no, he got picked up, but he got cut in the preseason.
Okay.
And so what he does, he has a little, like a show where they do... it only went for one season. He had a show that they put him on where he was investigating people that were wrongly convicted.
Got it. Well, hey.
And people are still trying to get this guy where he needs to be and have a good life.
I say God will turn your bad around to good.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, that's good to hear that something positive came out of it. But, to your point about that story, the chick just straight up, she got caught lying about it, but it's like, golly.
Stole all that money.
Yeah, so, it's probable that Nicki Minaj's boyfriend was set up.
Mm-hmm.
We know that doesn't take much, especially for a black man to be accused of doing something he didn't do, for prosecutors to say he did it.
Right. I'm tough on crime.
Right, yeah. So it's not unusual. Now, the manslaughter thing, I don't know what that's about. Usually when somebody gets charged with manslaughter, it's
an accident
or involuntary, but
right.
it was lesser than flat out murder.
Right?
Yeah, so something negligent happened.
Or he could have been with his boys, and they all got got the charge. So we got to really do some deduction on that. But Nikki, I'll definitely deal with you and stuff like that, and I will love you for who you are, baby.
She will eat you up and spit you out with both booty cheeks.
Hey. And guess what? As that money's coming through the front door, I'm funneling it through the back to my Afro Thunder.
Thunder. Well, so. I don't think it's a secret that Nicki probably really is paying. She's probably the sugar mama.
Yeah.
You'd have to be. Mm-hmm. But if you got $70 million and she don't have no kids, I don't know if he has any kids, but hell.
Well, he's been locked up, so I doubt that. So.
Wow, it's just me and you.
Yeah, but here's my thing. And, and it's unfortunate. I say this all the time. If I was a woman, nothing against the guy, I understand situations happen, but I just wouldn't want to take a chance on a guy. He's been behind bars, and if he's attractive like me, something's going to happen. It's going to take 12 guys to bring me down, but it's going to happen.
I wouldn't put myself men who go to prison get raped.
No. I'm not saying they all do, but I'm just saying, do I want to take that chance, though?
Well, karate, so what you scared of?
No, I'm not scared. Like I said, it's going to take 12 of them to hold me down to get it.
Too sweet.
I'm telling you, that's what it's going to take. I'm going to fight it out. But what I'm saying is, if I was a woman, I'm just saying me, from what I know, I'm not taking no chances like that. Because didn't we say it on a show where they're like, this group is saying that it's okay to date people that have HIV?
So where did I see that? It says okay to date. Who was it? I can't remember what it was.
But you have to be careful. I'm not saying people don't do it. Now, me, I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. I can't date you.
What it was, I was saying it's okay to date. Somebody was saying that thing on the show, but it was some rapper too. Miami, Miss Miami, some damn body Miami. Was telling girls it's okay they should sell their hootenanny for $1,000.
Can't do it. Like I said, I know it's a disease and it's a thing, but that's a deadly disease, and I just don't. I just can't do it.
And then they also said too that Atlanta is leading, or is like
always
compared to like a third world country in regards to AIDS. And I also saw an article too where they impressed upon people who live in Atlanta to start taking HIV. I shouldn't, and not laughing because it's funny, but taking HIV medication just in case.
Wow.
Just in case you might sleep with somebody who ain't telling you the whole story.
Right. And so basically there's just a free-for-all going on in Atlanta.
Basically, if I lived in Atlanta, I'd just get my whole shut up. No. It's just sold up.
Well, here's what I would do. If I were to see, and this is why I will never move to Atlanta. A lot of pretty people there. Women and men,
it's
very
Black
attractive.
Hollywood.
Yeah, Black Hollywood, very, and we're not saying that to be mean to you guys or anything like that.
Well, that's just the facts.
But if I was going to move to Atlanta, I'd have to be married before I move because I want to have my own with me.
So you would bring your woman from a different city?
Yeah, no, I'd be married and with her. That way I have my own. I don't have to worry about going out and putting myself in bad predicaments.
Well,
because I heard Atlanta they have sex parties and
groupies.
Yeah,
I heard, why I didn't hear. I read this article a long time ago that said that AIDS is really rampant. Well, one of the reasons it's rampant in Atlanta is because a lot of men don't see themselves as gay.
Yeah.
So if I don't see I just like sleeping with dudes. If I'm a man now, I just like sleeping with dudes. I'm not gay.
You're gay.
It's what I do. It's not who I am. So if that's not who I am, then I'm not going to say I'm gay. And if I'm not going to say I'm gay, I don't need to tell you I'm gay.
Right. So basically you're saying any booty hole will do.
Well, I'm not gay, so there's no need to disclose that to you. Especially if I'm laying that call that obviously on the down low.
Yeah, you're delusional.
But there's no need for me to disclose that to you if I'm a man and you my woman. Ain't no need. Why I got to tell you that? I'm not gay. I'm just sleeping with dudes.
Okay, put it like this: if a guy can grow a beard like I do and have that stubble, we have nothing to talk about.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. And then they said the other part is because a lot of times in like Atlanta, I don't know how big it is, but a lot of the communities.
It's big, yeah.
It's small communities and everybody knows towns, everybody. Yeah. And so they said a lot of times too at these like AIDS clinics or what do you call them? Health clinics or whatever. They homeboy auntie or mama or sister or somebody might work there. So if I go up in there and get a test and and then she ain't going to be able to hold water even though there's this HIPAA thing. She gonna go tell a good friend who ain't gonna tell nobody. And then that good friend got a good friend ain't gonna tell nobody. And pretty soon our whole neighborhood know I went up in there and I tested positive for HIV. So guess what? I ain't gonna go. I ain't got it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Because people don't want to disclose their information. That's one thing I liked about the military, because you knew if somebody got it, it's like, wow, you're being out processed. I wonder why.
Damn.
They didn't, because you had to take a test. Everybody had to take a test constantly. And that's one of the safe things about being in the military. But, I'm just saying, ladies, just be careful. Ask questions. I just hate to see, and there's an epidemic of, especially in the Black community, of young Black ladies. Herpes is on the rise. All the venereal diseases.
All of it is. I mean, and I was listening to NPR, one of my favorite stations.
Yes, I like NPR.
Yesterday, and they were saying that about AIDS and HIV. They basically said it's one of those things that it's more like you made a mistake once that will affect you for the rest of your life.
Right.
And if you're careful, obviously that won't happen, but it comes from a lot of people thinking it ain't going to be me.
Well,
he look all right. He ain't got it.
Like I said, and I talk from personal experience. I come from a big family, so I'm talking from people even in my family that have gone through these things. It's okay to make one mistake, but why would, and for Black women, you guys are all having sex with the same guy, got babies from everybody down the street.
I ain't having sex with the same guy.
But you know what I'm saying? That thing, they know Ray got 3-4 kids by so-and-so, and then you line yourself up. Well, and then when you get herpes, which you can't get rid of, then, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have, could have, would have, but he was so cute.
I would just say people need to find stuff to do. I mean, honestly, get busy in building yourself up mentally, physically, financially. Just find something to do. You ain't got to be sleeping. It's like, golly. It's a 2-3 minute, 5, 10, 15, if you good, act.
Right.
Then what? What you gonna do with the rest of your time? Exactly. So you spent potentially 15 minutes getting, the HIV, or, AIDS or something. And so now what are you going to do with the rest of your life?
Right. I mean, go fishing, go get a hobby,
go to school.
Right.
Open a book.
Self-service yourself. I mean,
really. What was that? The Attorney General, the Black lady, lost her job because she said that. Masturbate.
Yeah, masturbate yourself. Yeah.
But now we got, like you said, but you can't have no Black woman telling people to masturbate and take care of yourself, because what happens is we can't get rid of a lot of these Negroes.
Right.
Then we need to get them to catch the diseases and have all these babies and
kill them off.
All that.
So, like I said, I just don't understand it. It's I know people make mistakes. Like I said, with the weed and stuff, I have yet to see a movie where the person started off, well, weed's no big deal, and then they reach the high on that, they go to something else, and then it just ends in this destructive situation, and all these prohibitors telling you don't do it, and yet people still do it, and they want you to feel bad for them. So, but
well,
You guys can catch Demetra on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look up Demetra K on Facebook, and she's also on YouTube. Please check out her channel. She has some awesome videos on there. Always look at the end of the video because I have a message that I have to keep telling Demetra time and time again. I'm in here.
All right, Ike.
We're going to catch you guys again next week. You guys, please tune in to the Demetra K Show. We'll see you.
Peace.